All right. I think we're live. We should be
We
live.
better be.
We're live with special guest co-host Steven/Steve C / Mac84.
That's me. I know that guy. He owes me money.
John is away.
He's out adventuring.
Mm-hmm.
And cosplaying as Dr. Forrester from Mystery Science Theater 3000. So I look forward to seeing those pictures.
You're wearing the same shirt you wore last. Did you wear that shirt?
No, I wore the Newton one last time.
So that's right. That's right. So that one's fresh out of the laundry.
Yeah, you could last time I forgot to do this. I'm going to type very softly.
As I recall, you designed that.
Yes, it did. Let me get the link here.
It's still for sale. You can buy it.
Yes, Apple hasn't done a cease and desist yet, so we'll see how long that lasts.
What was was there an occasion for coming up with that, or you just
well, I was just playing around with some ideas, and that one came up, and I thought, you know what, that would be fun to do, and it was just one of these things where I decided, let's just see what happens. I'll just put up a shirt. And a lot of people reacted to it. So I'm like, oh, that's great. So we'll see if I could find the darn link here. This
thanks
website.
For asking. I've got a new shirt too.
Oh, I can't see because my window is small.
It is small.
It's is that the like a Genius, like a play on the Genius logo?
It is I think the back says Apple Genius Room.
Oh, nice.
Or just Genius Room. And I've never worn this shirt. I've had it for decades, probably. And I don't know. I never wore it because it's super bright orange, and it didn't quite appeal to me. But I saw it today. I thought, well, I'll wear a new shirt, and I grabbed this thing, and then I saw it, and I saw this weird logo, which is, you pointed it out. It's reminiscent of the Genius, but it's got the little, it's like first aid.
Yeah.
And then it says Genius Room on the back. What is the Genius Room?
Yeah, I guess
the Genius Room is.
Is that the room in the back of the store?
It's the room at the back of the store. It's
also the break room, I'm sure.
Well, could be, but it's mainly the place where they actually do the repairs.
Oh, okay.
So the people that wore these shirts were the back of the room, the back of the house people that were in the repair shop.
Oh, nice.
So, there were the Geniuses up front at the Genius Bar, which they don't even have the Genius Bar anymore, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of gone.
I think
which is a shame, I guess. I don't know how they handle that anymore. Like it used to be you could go in and you could make an appointment at the Genius Bar and you could show up with like any Apple product they ever made, right?
Remember the red phone, the red telephone?
That's right, where they had to call somebody at the mothership or something.
Yep. I never saw it used, but I remember it sitting there idly and being like, oh, it's a red phone.
You'd always see these pictures of people coming in, it's like a Mac Plus and trying to get help, in 2005.
Yeah, I saw someone come in with the Mac 2CX once, and this was around the early 2000s. So the people working at the stores were still like Apple fanatics and knew everything. Mm-hmm. And they were saying, well, we could do this and that, but we can't do much more than this or whatever. And so I pasted the link to my shirt in the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
With a promo code $5 off.
All right.
Using the code classic.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and record this thing.
Sure. At
least the audio part. If you're ready to go, I'm ready.
I am ready when you are.
Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and Steve. This is episode 585 for September 5th, 2021. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, James. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for filling in for John.
They're ginormous shoes. Ginormous shoes.
You did this before, right? You did this before. Did you?
Yes.
For him once before, at least once. Yes. Before.
And I had no idea what I was doing. Hopefully, I have a better idea this time.
So John is, I think, in the Atlanta area, attending some comic book festival, Dragon Con, I think is what they call it. He goes every year, or at least every year they have it. We saw his costume last week. What was the character?
Dr. Forrester from Mystery Science Theater
That's right.
3000.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm sure he's having a great time. But we're glad to have Steve whenever we can, because I know you're busy with all your
It never ends. As we were talking about before the show, the tinkering projects never end.
You were on the Canadian Computer Collector, is that right? On his channel?
On his YouTube channel. Yeah, so we recorded a silly little video, which was a lot of fun to do, and Dan's a great guy. So check out Canadian Computer Collector on YouTube if you haven't subscribed already. And we had the idea of those Apple III monitors that we were showing off the last show, episode 584. And we thought, well, it's just a composite video jack on it. Couldn't you just, with the HDMI to composite adapter, display some modern imagery on there? And we got to the silly idea of, let's play video games on it. And so these green phosphor, very intense displays, we were playing Unreal Tournament 2004 on, and he did a video about it, which came out pretty funny. And yeah, it's one of those things where it was just a joy to do, and then your eyes hurt afterwards.
Let me show a little bit of that to the folks at home here. Let's see. It is funny. Let's see here.
You could skim to the part where
where during
all the green.
Right. Here's a little bit of it.
He's really the collector of souls.
So was there a lot of smearing? And I mean,
yeah,
how would you characterize the quality of that video?
So I had a screensaver on the machine that I plugged into my monitor, and it was the flying toasters, like a modern recreation of it. And you could just see the phosphor trails of the toasters. There was such a retention almost, because these monitors, were not designed to be refreshed that quickly. But it's just one of those things where it really affects, sort of a fast-paced type game type thing.
Sure.
So not ideal, but we had a lot of fun doing it. And depending on your computer settings, like the overscan of the monitor and all this stuff. Yeah, so it was a very unique experience. I think we're going to try and do it again with another game. But it was a blast. And it just goes to show you it's a monitor, so it's still usable.
Sure.
I think,
and you also you solved you got a little more information on we were talking about the different colors of the casings of the monitors last week.
Yes, and the Apple Museum on Twitter mentioned that the surrounding border of that case, well, the inner bezel, I guess, is a lighter color for when it was made for the Apple II series, because the Monitor 3, I guess, had two lives, with the Apple II and then later the Apple III. So it was interesting. As we were trying to figure out the last show, what the heck is the difference and why is it a different color? So now we know a little bit more about that mystery.
Well, it was funny because I always thought, isn't it true that the Monitor 3 was made for the Apple III? I mean, hence 3.3 and the even the shape of how it fits kind of perfectly on an Apple III.
Yeah.
Was it named Apple III or Monitor 3 for another reason? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the original monitor, I think it was introduced in 1980. So I know that. Yeah. So it actually came before the Monitor 2.
Yeah, that's what's confusing. So therefore it was supposed to be, matched with the Apple III.
Yeah, it was I believe it was their business series monitor.
Sure.
Their fancy thing like that. And so Derek is saying that it has a high persistence phosphor coating. Yay, smearing to reduce flicker, mostly for text work. So that would explain why it's a business monitor and why it was so horrible for motion games.
Right. Yeah, it was never, the designers never envisioned first-person shooters on it. So.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well, what are we talking about today? We're going to do time capsule. We're going to look at Mac Addict 20 years ago, September 2001. We got eBay finds.
I have a hat for it, which I'm not going to shove on my head because I don't think it'll fit.
He's got a foam visor
Yeah.
There's no cure. I'm a Mac addict. Where'd you get that?
I bought a buttload of buttons from somebody on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or one of those things. And they just included this as a nice little freebie because they saw,
That's funny.
Obviously I was a Mac addict for buying like 100 buttons at a silly price.
Yeah.
And they threw that in to put pity on me. So
funny. Well, we'll be right back with some eBay finds. Okay.
Let me get the eBay find windows open.
Let's see here.
Interesting finds this week.
Let's see. What am I going to find? Aha. Here we go. Okay. If you're ready.
I am ready.
Say the word. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's take a look at last week's eBay finds, the Apple Fest poster. Beautiful poster. Buy it now, $2,900. Or you can make an offer. Has not sold.
Oh,
has not sold. Nobody's
still waiting for that collector.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And let's see the recapped. I can get my windows going here. The recapped Mac Classic still available. Buy it now, $549. There is no make an offer.
Now, is that just a stock color Classic, or did they upgrade the board of it in any kind?
I believe it's stock. Yep, stock. And then we were just talking about the Monitor.
There you go.
3. This one happened to also come with the Disk 3 or whatever, the Apple 3 disk drive.
Yeah, that's the more valuable thing in the collection, I would assume, in that listing.
Probably. I know John talked about even bidding on this himself. I don't know if he won it or not, but after 12 bids, the pair here went up to $127.50.
Oh wow, now I'm very curious if they were separate items, what the price would be just for the monitor and just for the disk drive, because I would assume the person bidding on this was trying to get that disk drive.
Probably. Yeah, we don't, and of course the disk drive was untested. The monitor was. At least they got
it's in rough shape
on the front. Yeah, it is rough. Lots of tape, but I think both of these could be cleaned up really well.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's perfect for some Unreal.
Burn your retinas.
Let's see. Let's move on. Let's talk about this week. I found another cool poster. I just had to share. This one, the title says "Vintage Apple Macintosh poster framed. Macintosh has what the doctor ordered." So I think it's like a 2 by 3 foot poster. It's framed.
And I've never seen that artwork before.
I have never either. It says at the bottom of it, it says Macintosh, just what the doctor ordered. It has the 6-color Apple logo, and the main portion of the poster is some artwork, kind of the sketch of the human body, like an anatomy sort of thing. But there's a lot happening. There's
a lot of icons and files and
it's almost like a futuristic scan, like if Terminator were scanning humans.
Yeah, you have a tool palette to the bottom right. If you right there in that photo.
Yeah. Oh, right down here you've got like little insets of different parts of the body. Is that Bill Atkinson right there?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It looks like it. There's
Dr.
some
Bill
overlays.
Atkinson.
Yeah, you got a tool palette there, like a Mac Paint tool palette, Mac Write overlay screenshot, various images, muscular, skeletal, whatever images, and that looks like Steve Jobs right there.
Dr. Steve, yeah.
Really cool, and that looks like a Mac Paint image of the body, right? I mean, it's 1-bit, low res.
It's certainly very unique. I've never seen one of these before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I quite like this thing. Certainly if you're in the medical field, an old Mac fan, that's just what the doctor ordered. Starting bid $399, or you can make an offer. Again, it's framed. It ships from Palmyra, Pennsylvania. I don't know. $399.
Yeah, like if I was in that medical field and, like you said, had that cross section of loved old Apple stuff, and we're or into medical stuff, I think that's a perfect
Yeah.
combination. Because the artwork's really cool. Sometimes you see these posters where the art isn't that good, and it sort of looks pretty crummy.
Cheesy.
But this is
very interesting.
I'm
You
tempted
can look at it and stare at it for a while, right?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But
You're tempted.
not for that money.
Okay.
I'm
make
fine.
an offer.
I'm fine just
Make an
looking at
offer.
the picture. No, I have so many
now.
Apple posters rolled up right next to me that are not going anywhere because I have no wall space.
Yeah, you're like me. You got shelves everywhere with stacks of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put them on the ceiling. How about that?
Well, I consider that too. All right. Let's take a look at this. The title says Apple Macintosh 128K 1984 printer floppy drive modem view disk crp. I don't know what the disk crp is. That
view description, I think they're trying.
View description, modem view description. Oh, okay. All right. It's got the instructions actually in the title. That's clever. And then there's the description just has a rundown of the things in here. It's kind of a motley crew of stuff, right? Because you've got an original Mac. They say they turn it on. That's
displaying a sad Mac.
Displaying a sad Mac. Very good. Disk drive 1050, which is, I think it's that Atari disk drive.
Yes, that is the Atari one. Has still the paper insert in there too.
Yeah, a modem. It says Atari 800 XL keyboard, which is fun because
it's a computer.
It's always funny when you get these ads. Like occasionally you'll see an ad for an all-in-one Mac, and it'll say, Macintosh monitor.
Yes,
right?
yes.
I don't even know there's a computer in it.
I got a LED cinema display once that somebody was selling off as an iMac, and I said, "You realize that's just the monitor."
Right, it goes both ways. You're right. They're right. The newer folks think that the computer is built into, and the older folks think it's just the monitor. And a bunch of other random Atari things here. So again, this is one. If you happen to be an old Atari computer fan and a Mac fan, there's some to satisfy both of your interests in here.
Yeah, I mean, I like that little Atari printer. Not $860 much of liking it, but
that's what they want. $859.97 is the buy it now. There is a make an offer for this.
Now I'm looking at the photos. They don't show it, but the listing says that there are boxes for everything. At the last line, it says boxes are with almost all item except the modem.
Does that include the Mac? I guess is what you're wondering.
Yeah, I'm curious if they made original boxes or they're just going to package things up. It's always hard to tell by these cryptic findings.
Notice the mouse isn't the right mouse.
and the sign that they have a DVI cable with the television RF adapter concerns me.
Because the mouse is the Apple II mouse.
Right? Yeah, it does look. Yeah, that color scheme does look like the Apple II mouse.
It's the Apple II mouse. But there's the error code.
Yeah, someone decode that.
Ring a bell? 48140.
Probably memory.
Sad Mac. You think so? Yeah. But at least the monitor does light up and show something. So it would need a little care there. I don't see a original keyboard or mouse for that, and we're not sure if the box actually is there. So there might be some questions here.
Definitely ask questions of the seller before bidding.
Yeah,
don't assume.
But you could maybe make an offer and maybe get something that Mac could be restored. Okay, well let's look to this next one here.
Oh, nice.
I love these, and they're getting rarer and rarer to find. That is a vintage 1988 Apple Macintosh System Software Update version 6.0, new and sealed.
Wow.
New and sealed. Description doesn't say much more. Just kind of reads what's on the box. You look at the box, and you can see that the plastic is showing a little wear, but it's still intact. And it's got all the... And it's original sealed because it's got the original stickers on the front.
Oh, yeah.
You've got, it says, and it's a couple stickers that I haven't seen. I've got a few of these boxed.
Okay.
But I've never seen the circular 6.0.7 sticker stuck on.
Yeah, I think I have the remainder of one of these sets. So it's like the booklet and the discs, but I don't think I have the outer cardboard holder to put it all together. So it's really cool to see it with this and everything.
Yeah, and there's also so this must have been later on in that.
Yeah, especially to say there's an update.
Yeah, and it says for a limited time includes HyperCard 2.0, also a sticker on the front. So they just kept adding stickers on here to try to move these things.
It's got more stuff. Come on, buy it.
And then at the bottom, there's even a sticker. Let's see if we can zoom in on that thing here. Oh, go away. Go away.
Like the little price.
Yeah.
Let's see if I could do it. Yeah, Mac System Update, $49. That's what it says.
Okay.
If you go, if you sort of have to zoom out of that view, and then you could sort of finagle it.
There it goes. There it goes. It's going away. All right. Yeah. The price tag, which is kind of cool because it's probably printed out on an image writer or something. You can see it's dot matrix label printer. So real collectible box software from that era, still sealed, all the stickers on it. Oh, that's just so nice. And people, are they bidding? There's just one bid on it right now. $46 is the bid. This ends in 9 days, ships from New York City. I don't know. I figure this will go, I don't know, maybe go for twice that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge because with old software like this, you're basically paying for the box. Everyone has the discs. Everyone has the versions of these probably floating around. There could be revisions that haven't been captured or archived yet, but I think you're basically paying for the shelf item.
You would never open this. There would be no point in opening this.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have. There's a nice manual in there. Back when there were nice spiral bound. Documentation for system software, right? But this is one you take this, maybe even put this in a shadow box and set it on the shelf. Right?
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see if it sells by next week.
Yeah. Maybe one of our lucky viewers will be the winner.
Okay.
And we got Bruce in the chat from Brankus Creations. Hello, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. What is Brankus Creations?
That's his company name that he created.
Oh, okay.
I'll let him explain it to you because I've long forgotten.
It was created by Brankus. Good explanation.
Brankus created him from the sky and gave him these ungodly recapping abilities.
All right, we're gonna switch gears now. Let's see if I can. Share the right screen.
It's too early in the morning to share the right screen. It's okay.
Let's share that screen. There we go.
There we go. Let me get my copy open so I can thumb through it.
All right.
I'm
you ready? Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time capsule time. We're going to go back 20 years to September 2001. So, the title is, the feature article, The Best and Worst of Everything Mac, from the insanely great to the simply insane.
And this is their 5th anniversary issue as well, by the top.
It is, yeah. And lots of fun things going on the front cover because you got smiling Steve. His floating head in the middle of a petals of the colored iMacs, the candy colors. At the time, had just come out recently, and then a smattering of other Apple hardware on the cover. There's a picture of an eMate there. Instead of saying hello, it says goodbye on it, which is probably telling. They must not think too highly of the eMate.
I don't think so.
So we'll spend most of the time looking at that article and seeing how those things stand up. Are they still the best? Are they still the worst? Are they even the worst to us?
I mean, it's always interesting to see 20 years later how these things hold up. But what I always love about these magazines is the ads. And right on the open of the other side of the cover is a 2-page Apple ad, and this is for DVD studio and iDV, but basically selling their Power Mac G4. But what's interesting is the VHS covers there. You see some say Chiat Day, etc. So that was the advertising agency that they used. So I don't know if all of these tapes are just fictitious things or projects that were that company worked on or whatever. But if they're fictitious, there's a lot of effort that went into those labels. Let me just say that.
I would guess they're all real, because some of them are. So why would some of them be real and some be fake? I don't know, but you're right. There are 3 of them that have their advertising agency on there. So
yeah, it says Apple Computer Inc. So I'd love to see what's on those tapes.
Yes. Well, I'm going to skip ahead.
Yes.
To page 18.
I'm just going to get caught up on all the ads.
Drool worthy is the section, and look at that monitor there. It's actually a high definition TV, so I guess it has a tuner of some sort. But it
for only $3,500.
Yeah,
Princeton
Graphic Systems made some very expensive monitors back there, but yeah, $34.99. What's crazier is that jukebox HD MP3 player from Arcos.
Oh, I remember that thing.
I remember this is September 2001. What came out in October of 2001?
The iPod.
And it's funny because in the description there it says you thought the great MP3 gadget race was over. Now this is still in September, so why did they think it was over in September 2001?
Well, there were so many companies that were just, what was it, iRiver, Creative, all these different companies were shoveling out these MP3 players.
But was it over? Did somebody win it?
I don't think
we were just tired of it.
I think we were just complacent with some of the stuff that was given out. But I mean, the space was very competitive from what I recall. I remember drooling over this or that, and they had the small ones that were like USB and you could hold 10 songs on it. And then this one looks like, I believe it's a hard drive based one. The text is a little small. It is. Yeah, 6 gigabyte hard drive. So there you go.
And it's also got an audio in port, so you could record. It says it doubles as a portable recording studio. Well,
that's neat.
It can record from a line in from something else, but and 10 hours of battery life.
I mean, just look at the design of that thing. Were they expecting you to throw this around like at 90 miles an hour?
Bumpers?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I mean, how much shock protection did that poor hard drive need?
I don't know. A lot, apparently. But yeah. But right, like we were saying, things would quickly turn. It'd be a new race a month later when the iPod came out. Let's go to that best and worst section. Best and worst. And it starts off with some history, like the best rumor back when people thought Apple was going to buy B. Remember when they were thinking about revamping the operating system? There are a variety of options on the table, and B was new on the scene and doing some great things with their operating system and with their hardware. The B box. You don't have a B box, do you?
I do not, but my friend James, or Hyper Talking on Twitter, has a pair of them, and he's been trying to convince me to install B on one of my Mac clones. So I have to go ahead and try that. I think Jean-Louis Gasset would be sort of angry at me if I did that, because he wasn't happy about the cloning licensing agreement, from what I understand. But
well, that was the best rumor they were saying at the time, and that's a pretty nice rumor. The B, I can remember watching the demos of the B OS. They were just fantastic. Like these multiple videos playing and all kinds of
really cool stuff. I've never got into, so I'd love to explore that one day. And
then the worst rumor was that insert company here set to buy Apple. And it could have been Disney, could have been Sony, could have been any number of companies back when Apple was beleaguered. And, swirling down the drain. Of course, that didn't happen. Let's scroll ahead here. I love the stories here. This article is great because there's so many incredible stories, even to this point in history. This is 20 years ago, right? So much has even happened since then. But even to that point, like you look at best product code name, They had named the 7100 codename Sagan, and because he was a popular astronomer at the time, they must have had some fans, right, that were developing the 7100. Somehow that leaked out, and he was threatening legal action for using his name, which is hilarious. So what did they do? They changed the name to BHA, which stands for Butthead Astronomer.
And then they changed it again to LAW, Lawyers Are Wimps.
Oh,
yep.
See, you added something there. That's not even in the article. Yeah. Worst product code name, Spartacus. Spartacus was the code name for the 20th anniversary Mac. They say it simply didn't live up to that name, Spartacus. I don't know. I think it fits still very well.
I've never had the pleasure to use one, but they are interesting machines.
Yeah. And the best expo moment, the introduction of the multicolored iMacs. Yeah, that was a great moment.
Collect all 5.
Collect them all, and you can do it again with the new. Well, they only had 5. Now they have 6. It's funny how. You can actually get all 6 colors of the Apple logo, or something close anyway. I'm going to scroll through here to some hardware stuff. I'm going to get down here. Best technology that died.
Oh yeah, I agree with all this, except maybe CyberDog.
So this is interesting because it's technology that died, so it couldn't have been that good, but it was the best stuff that somehow we lost. eMate, right? eMate, kind of later in the Newton lifespan. So were they still making the eMate when Newton was killed completely? Probably.
The eMate 300 and I believe the 2100 of the Newton were some of the last ones to be produced. And they had a refined operating system. It was actually finding its footing and getting to be a good spot. And they killed the poor thing. But
it didn't die. Well, it did die, but it not on its own accord. It was steved.
Yes, it was steved, and I still firmly believe if the Newton was able to continue, with their third iteration of the software and whatever hardware they were cooking up, I think it would have been a pretty good contender for Palm Pilots, of the day. But Apple need to focus and they need to streamline and such. So I understand why they did that.
Right.
But
they also list Newton, of course, the companion, not companion, but the relative to eMate. OpenDoc is listed there, and CyberDog, one of the apps. Some cool technologies that just never took hold. The mezzanine slot.
Oh,
is that worthy of mentioning?
Oh, definitely. I have a 2 revision A and B iMacs, and they have the mezzanine slot on there. And I actually have, and I've been meaning to do a video about this, so I have to actually do it now. I have 2 upgrade cards for this. I have the Voodoo graphics card that gives you Voodoo graphics acceleration, and then I have a SCSI and TV tuner card combo. It's a very weird combination, but it gives you SCSI connectivity and TV capture functionality with it, and that's something that I really want to play around with. Because that'll be neat. And yes, there is a mezzanine slot on the prototype iMac that they're asking about in the chat, and that was the prototype iMac that Ken of the Computer Clan has that I was graciously enough sent over to try and fix up. And so there is a mezzanine slot on there as well as an ADB port, which is really cool.
Well, they also list eWorld.
Oh yes.
Also, launched in '94, folded in '96, an online service similar to AOL. So it says today's score: AOL 30 million, eWorld 0, which means, of course, AOL was still very much a thing.
Oh yeah,
2001. I think its days were numbered at this point, and nobody knew that at that time.
No,
eWorld came and went. I was an original member of eWorld.
Oh really?
Oh yes. Yeah.
I never had the pleasure of using it, but I know there's a sort of a reunion with Apple Fritter that they are trying to.
Yeah, you can actually experience eWorld a little bit today if you want to. Yep. So that's an interesting list. Let's see. I'm going to scroll through here. Here, worst design decisions. Apple is famous for its innovative hardware designs. But let's not forget that the company has made quite a few mistakes along the way. First, they say reducing the number of PCI slots from 6 to 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I'm sure, purely so you could buy more FireWire and USB devices.
Could be, yeah. I mean, obviously, they want to cut costs, and maybe they decided that not as many people were using all those slots, so people had to use older Macs to get more slots, the 8600s and 9600s. So yeah, if you're a real power user, and as it turns out, the slots, they just kept on going down to 0 now, right? I mean, almost. It's so yeah. I guess the design decisions of slots continues to haunt us. The next one though, Flower Power and Blue Dalmatian. It says, unlike Lime, these patterns don't look better in person. What? Huh? Really? They don't?
I take offense to that.
Yeah.
Now I remember seeing these in person at the Apple Store. I never owned either of these designs, but I remember seeing them at the Apple Store and thinking, okay, these are pretty neat. It was around the time of the iMac G4 was just introduced or about to be introduced. I forget exactly, but it was just one of those things where, okay, that's a neat direction.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things, so sometimes the weirdest things became the most interesting and collectible down the line, and these are certainly illustrates that concept. The Flower Power and Blue Animation, they are beautiful. I have both of them. They're kind of above the camera, so you can't see them, but they're up there.
We'll take your word for it, James.
Yeah, I fortunately I didn't own either of these new. But I was drawn to them a long time ago and managed to pick them up used back when you could still find them kind of reasonably.
Wow. That's cool.
And yeah, I mean, they are way more dramatic in person. I mean, those, like the pictures here in the magazine, don't even get them justice when you see them. Just the detail and the, because I think they had to come up with special processes to even apply because that artwork.
People often think that it's just a sticker or whatever, but no, it's part of it's printed directly onto the plastic, whether it's from the outside or the inside. I forget how they did it, but people often just think, oh, I'll scrape it off or whatever. No, it's not that simple.
Yeah, really cool. And what people also don't realize is that the Blue Dalmatian actually has yellow parts in it too. It's not just,
really?
It's not just blue and white. Yeah, there's some yellow kind of spots throughout.
Interesting.
Ditching the audio in port.
Yeah.
That went away for a while. And of course, they want you to buy, again, leaning forward into USB, wanting you to do everything through a dongle. Of course, this trend would continue well in the future, where it was even the audio out port start to disappear, right? And then maybe come back. So and then the Apple Display Connector. I can sign up for that one too, as being a bad thing.
I mean, they were way ahead trying to do like a Thunderbolt or a mini DisplayPort type thing, way back when. And I give them credit for it, but just one of those things.
Right. But usually it's tough. They're a lot of times they were trying to influence the entire industry by their decisions and hoping it would take her. But in this case, this was a proprietary to Apple, so they're not going to do anything. So this is going to be an Apple only thing. And so you got to have monitors specifically. I
never understood that. Like, I always thought, oh, this is the new wave of the future with ADC. They're going to, share this with others and get a licensing thing on top and get, all these companies to, nope, that wasn't the case. Oh, here we go. Clones.
Yeah, there you go. This speaks to you. Best business move, ending the Mac OS licensing program and the era of the clones. And,
at the price point Apple was getting for these clones, yes, I think it was a painful move for them, and it was cannibalizing their sales and all that stuff. But I do think if it was done in a different way, I think they could have actually helped Apple. But I don't think they had the direction from the up top that would have helped that at the time.
So what do you think that you said different way? Like, what could they have done to make it so that it actually expanded their market share?
I think if Apple was more willing, I think, to work with these manufacturers and say, hey, look,
Mhm.
this is what's coming up. Hey, we want to focus on this. We want to focus on that. I mean, I know there was to a degree of them designing the boards and stuff like that, but I think if there was more of an agreement of which they had later on, right as the program was about to die, if they had an agreement of, look, you can't cannibalize our higher sales with this, set some boundaries or whatever. A pipe dream, of course, it's not going to happen. But I think that if there was, a different way of going about this, there could have been room for these manufacturers to try and grow the market share. But of course, I think the opposite happened. History tells us that, these higher end machines were cheaper. People bought them because they were cheaper and they performed better. And they were an alternative to Apple. I mean, it's insane to think about this because Apple would never do this today. They would absolutely never let another company, put the Mac OS on just a regular beige box, So it's really, really fascinating to me.
Yeah, it was an interesting experiment for sure. And but yeah, anytime you're letting somebody else compete directly with you, it's one thing if you weren't a hardware manufacturer, right? I mean, but you can't. I don't. It's kind of like Microsoft deciding that they want to start selling computer hardware, and competing, and they obviously they have a priori access to what's coming down the the road in terms of OS developments, and so they have all these advantages. There really is no competition, but anyway, let's see. Most visionary decision: the iMac.
Oh yeah,
yes, of course, the iMac. iMac saved Apple.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No question about that. Worst business blunder: the great Performa ramp up of 1995. Oh my goodness, the Performas.
Oh goodness.
The unperformers. They should be called all the models, the confusion.
See, when I was younger, my aunt had a Performa machine, and it was a 6100. It wasn't the fastest thing on earth. But it was for us as kids. We put a CD-ROM and we'd play games. It was fine. So for the longest time, I never understood like why people hated these machines so much until I learned about the other Performers in the series. I was like, oh, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, for a little while, I was hell bent on getting every Performa.
Oh, really? How close did you get?
I don't know. Nobody knows. There are too many models that can't be tracked.
This one came with a slightly different modem.
Yeah, right. So
we changed the model number. Yeah.
Right. This one has a CD-ROM on it. So, and then ironically, the best marketing campaign was Power Computing's Fight Back for the Mac campaign.
Yeah. I love. You see those shirts and posters on eBay going for high prices. I actually lost an auction bidding on a similar poster, not that iconic one, but I do have a CD from Power Computing which has that graphic on the paper jewel case. So so that's that'll be framed one day.
And I think we'll finish the article. There's way more stuff on here. You should go look at this issue. We could go all day talking about all the things in here, but the worst iMac ripoff was Future Power's ePower, back when everybody was ripping off the Mac, where you had the George Foreman grills that were colored like the iMac, but even computers that looked like the iMac, and then there was this one. Apple eventually won.
Yeah. By Daewoo, I never even saw that one. I remember the eMachines E1. I remember that.
Oh yeah, another one.
But I didn't know about the Daewoo one. Maybe it didn't make it to market, or
well, they got sued, or and so it was taken off the market maybe even before it hit the market.
Yeah, maybe they were previewing it or something.
But anyway, we've rattled on long enough. That's September 2001 in Mac Addict magazine. You should go to archive.org. That's where you'll find that. You can also download the companion. I think they made a special 5th anniversary DVD that went along with this.
So there's a special CD that you could get then. Nice. I'll have to check that out. I have a bunch of discs somewhere, but thankfully all the CDs are archived. So.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's move on. We're going to talk
about
my
Windows
some
open
news.
Here. Close these eBay one.
How's everybody doing in the chat? Let's see. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. Yeah, Derek says, "Oh yeah, buying the digital audio G4 and realizing there's no audio input." Well, that's because you didn't buy the analog audio G4.
Yeah, they wanted you to buy a USB audio input,
right,
or a PCI one.
Yeah, that's the audio input, is that USB port. You misunderstand that.
The magazine is a September 2001 issue of Mac Addict, Trina, just so you know.
Let's see here. I was going to show somewhere I had it open here. I can look at all my my windows here. I had
we're number one.
I thought
right, James, you're number one. The podcast is number one.
All right, let's see here. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. All right. And okay. Let's share some news stories. All right. You ready?
Yes, I am.
In 3, 2, 1. There's been hasn't been a lot of news from Apple lately. Not a lot of product announcements for a while. I guess we're on the cusp, maybe this fall.
Oh, I hope
stuff coming out. They did have this announcement, which is kind of interesting. You know, they've been talking about the Apple Wallet and how they're going to extend it with the security that they tout, and I think history has shown that it's been pretty secure, right? And the Face ID and everything. That you could add like your driver's license. And that's actually, they promised that a while ago that they were making deals with states, and it's finally happening. So they released the announcement. Apple announces first states signed up to adopt driver's license and state IDs in Apple Wallet, with Arizona, Connecticut, Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, and Utah among the first states. Pretty awesome. This idea that one more thing you don't have to carry in your wallet, one more thing you will lose when you lose your iPhone. But you could hope that it's at least secure in there.
Yeah. I think this is really cool. I wish our state was the first, but I'm sure because now these other states have started, everyone's going to be jealous of why can't we have that? And hopefully it'll be a widespread thing. But just one of those things that I forgot my ID at home or whatever, now it's a whole other thing if places will accept this, as, an actual ID, whether for whatever reason you need it for, just like, in the state of New Jersey, when you go and get your car inspected,
sure,
you have to have the paper copy, and sometimes they're picky about this or that, even though the law says you don't need the paper copy. Some places just don't change at the time. So
right, yeah. So that's a good question. Is do you still need to carry around your driver's license for a while, because you're going to show it to somebody. Like, what's that? It looks like a picture on your iPhone. I can't do anything with that.
I think as long as they educate individuals, they're mentioning the TSA here. So if you're flying or whatever, it looks like there's some sort of verification here.
Yeah, they can scan it somehow. So that it would work even for travel. So cool things. You think about this idea, like, well, I was talking to some friends about this idea that someday you might have a little chip implanted somewhere on your body that would have this sort of information on it. The same kind of information, and people are worried about that sort of dystopian future of trackable and a chip in your head and all this. But I think most people will probably be less likely to lose their iPhone, or less likely to be detached from their iPhone than some chip in their head. So
I mean, you have
kind of the same thing.
You have an AirTag you can put in your actual wallet, and then you have your Find My iPhone app that you could find your phone for. So, and I know that Bruce is saying in the chat that he's had a digital driver's license for ages there in Australia.
That's there you go. Really way ahead of us. There you go. All right. Well, here's some retro news. Flappy Mac Now
this looks so cool.
This it is so cool. And Flappy Mac is a new game. Of course, you might remember Flappy Bird, which caught the world by storm back when it was released for iPhone.
And I
don't know when that was.
Yeah, it was taken down from the App Store. One of the first like big apps to be taken down by the developer. The developer like, made all this money, and he must have felt bad about it, or whatever the case may be. He was like, I don't want any part in this. I'm taking it down. And he announced when he was taking it down. I remember downloading it before then. And then for months or seemingly years after the fact, people were selling iPads and iPhones that had the game on it because that was the only way to get it, you know? And so I still have it. I don't think there was an issue. I think it was just the developer made so much money, and he was just like, I think it was in-app purchases too, like to get extra tries, or I forget exactly how it was, but I think the person was just like taken aback by the success of it, and was just like, I don't want any part of this. I'm sort of done. Which, you know, from a business standpoint, everyone's screaming at him, why would you do that? But, you know, I guess it's his own thing. And there's been clones for years and years. So this is really neat, though.
Yeah. And so the developer is Jared, a Killgruz or Gruz.
Gruz, yeah.
Gruz. Okay. Go at killgruz.com. And he made this for Classic Mac because it runs better on a little newer. He says he actually says 68020 is really like an SE30 or later Quadra line. You know, built this from scratch, and we'll play the trailer here. Let's see. And it's awesome because you get a lot of history. There's Claris, you got the sound effects. You can
Macintosh XL.
Characters. Yeah. Can you imagine if this game had come out?
I love the magnets and the floppy disk.
Yeah. There's black and white. There's color if your computer supports it. You got a little classic 90s celebrities and
I love it.
Yeah.
I have to try that. I've seen Ron from Ron's Computer Videos do a video about that, and I saw Gruz post a video about it on their channel too. What's really cool is he did a very limited release. I think he's going to make more. But he did a very limited physical release of like the source code and the game on a disc. And I said, when you make another one, let me know. I will buy it. And I think that's what everyone's reaction is to this. They want to support the guy.
They did sell out, right? Yeah. So maybe limited won't be so limited version 2, but yeah. So that's always fun.
And I think the limited one is on killgruz.com. So that's KILLGRUZ.com/Flappy Mac. But sorry to cut you off, but as you said, you know, these new titles for these old systems is just amazing. I love it. I mean, people are getting very creative with coding. You know, they're taking, you know, the nostalgia by the horns basically and saying, you know, let's put in Claris, let's do this, let's do that. I think it's really cool. I'm all for it.
Me too. All right. That's it for news. I'm gonna have to download it.
Yeah, I have it downloaded. I want to play it on the slowest Mac possible and see how it runs.
Yeah. I'll try it. I'll try it in emulation first on something and see how.
See, I always, I don't know if it's just my configuration, but my emulation always lags a little bit. I don't know if it's just the way it's set up, but I mean, I have all these Macs behind me. I should put it on a real machine.
All right. Gosh, I guess that's it.
Oh,
well, let's close out the episode, and then I'm gonna find what I was looking for earlier.
I'll just I'll just plug that I'll be at VCF.
Okay,
and that's all.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, that's another episode of the RetroMacCast. Thank you, Steve, for filling in for John. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's hard to fill those shoes, but I'm making an effort.
You're going to be where next week. Is it next week?
Yeah, it's next week. So next weekend, September 11th and 12th is the VCF Midwest Computer Festival. And so if you do a web search, you could find that fairly easily. So that is outside of the Chicago area. And so very excited to be participating in that event. It's my first VCF non-flea market event. So I know there's going to be a lot of people there. Ken from the Computer Clan, the 8-Bit Guy, LGR, Ron from Ron's Computer Videos is going to be there. A bunch of people that are going that I know personally from social media and my videos and stuff like that. So very exciting to see people in person. I'll be walking around with some swag, I'm sure, so you could be able to find me. But
so you're strictly an attendee. You're not presenting or doing any other.
No, I'm not presenting, but I'm sure I'll be crashing some booths that of people I know and hanging out there. I don't have the transportation method available to lug a bunch of cool machines with me, because thankfully there's the VCF event East, which is about a half hour south of me. So much better driving distance. And that is in October. So I'm going to bring some really cool goodies there and have it on display. Sean of Action Retro will be at that one. So it's going to be an exciting few weeks.
Yeah. Are you gonna incorporate your channel somehow into that? Some kind of live something
into the September the October event, the East event. I think I'll do something like that. And for the October one, I'm sure I'll shoot a bunch of footage and do a video about that, or a live stream or something, seeing how well the internet connection is there. But I've already gotten a request to solder something while I'm on the premises there in Chicago. So we'll see what goes on. But that's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. And next week we'll be back with more RetroMac stuff. John will be back, so we'll figure out what we're going to do. But until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Was that you trying to go low?
I was trying. It's retro. No, that just sounds worse. See? You just need to put John's voice over the end of it. That's all.
Let's see. I'm going to find what I was looking for earlier. Oh, here it is. So let me share this thing. Oh, I see. I've got this ultra widescreen monitor, and I'd open this up, and I was like, "Why doesn't it open? Why doesn't it open?"
It's like in the corner.
It's in the top left-hand corner of my monitor, which is just outside of my field of view, because I'm leaning in here so so it looks like I'm the same size human as you are on my screen.
You just tell me to move back. I look skinnier this way.
So we have some kind of parody here.
What if I'm like this?
And when I do that, then I miss parts of my screen. So let's see. So I got this. Let's see. Share. And there it is. So when we were getting ready for the episode,
yes,
Steve was sharing this. This is his appearance in Mac Addict, and this was what year was this?
Oh, I just closed the tab.
It's like issue 81 or something.
Yeah, it was. Here, let me find it. Since we're not live anymore, we could take our sweet time.
No, we are live.
Oh, well, I mean, not recording, but
well, we are recording too.
Oh, well, all right, let's start this again. So, yeah, this is episode. Wow. This is issue 83 of 83. Mac Addict. And so this is the July 2003 issue. I had created these little Sims characters, and all I did was basically import the existing skins that they had.
How old were you?
Oh, gosh. This is 2003? So that is, let me get a calculator out here because I'm old. So I was about 16, 17, something like that.
Okay.
And so I was all just about playing The Sims and being a big dork. And so I have a copy of these skins somewhere, because that homepage.mac.com link is no longer active, of course. So I have to find them. But basically, this is the first time I actually followed through and submitted something to a magazine. I always would draw video game characters and never send them in and stuff. But I thought, this is, I want to send it in. And so it made it to this is the shutdown page. So it's like the second to last page or so of Mac Addict issue 83. And this is just the caption there we were talking about before the show. I thought, when I was like 17 or whenever I read this back, I didn't really understand what they were referring to there. And I still don't. It's just one of these cryptic kind of joke
Well,
thingy-majigs.
the picture shows your Sims characters, and one's wearing what, a FireWire logo.
Yeah, one has a
tank
FireWire
top,
logo.
and the other is USB.
It would have helped if I explained that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the other one is the other one is USB or ADB. So the whole point of the skins was I put a bunch of the Apple iconography for the ports and stuff on these shirts. So whether it's FireWire, USB, ADB, serial, etc., I thought that would be neat, and that was the thinking of the time.
And so the response to this is, "Oh, look at those two." As my great granny Maxine once said, "There's a seat for every ass," and she wasn't referring to that animal magnetism in that sofa. Yeah, I guess that's hot. So that's we're still trying to figure that one out. 20 years or
I guess it's
18
just
years later.
You know, there's a seat for your butt. Whatever.
There's a better joke in there about the incompatibility of those ports, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
There's something there.
Yeah, the scan doesn't do it justice. I do have probably the original screenshot that I sent in. I do have the files, so I'll have to post that on Mac84.net somewhere. But I think that's really neat. And that was the free magazine at Macworld 2003. They had a stack of Macworld and Mac Addict magazines that you could just take. So I have like a handful of these because I was in it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna grab some. So it just happened to be that.
Nice. All right. Well, that's your bonus content.
Yes, that's why you have to subscribe to RetroMacCast on YouTube here. Get all the goodies.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap. Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat.
Yeah, nice to see Bruce here, Brian, Scarlet Swordfish, Derek, everyone else who I'm forgetting, Trina, Christian, Patrick. I could go on forever.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Steve, we'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, I'll report back from VCF.
All right. Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.